Greetings everyone, welcome back to Kadic Reviews. It's been a while since I've done one of these things, but then again, the reason I'm back is not a happy one. You see, as a child growing up, Cartoon Network used to be the place to be. And heck, I've even written a blog on how Cartoon Network was cursed quite a few years back due to their release of the then getting majorly popular Code Lyoko. But that's another story for another video, I guess. But the large part of why I'm here is because way back in Cartoon Network's infancy, when they were actually good, they had several original series. First starting out as shorts for the show that would be called What a Cartoon, but was originally called World Premiere Tunes when it started. One of the first world premiere tunes back in 1995 was a little short called The Powerpuff Girls. This short would instead be sequelized and ultimately chosen as the fifth of the new cartoon line that they had executed back in '97. The show became an instant hit, made by show creator Craig McCracken and even overseen by the Queen Pony God herself, Lauren Faust. The Powerpuff Girls became almost instantly a smash, and alongside shows like Sailor Moon, started a small girl power movement at the time. The series, having 4 successful seasons, looked like it was going to end when Craig McCracken wanted to, but unfortunately Cartoon Network didn't, so Craig and Lauren left the show while the show continued for an additional 2 seasons. With the quality lessened, the show was ultimately ended. But now, in 2016, the Powerpuff Girls have magically returned, but without their brainchilds of creators, writing staff, or even their heart and spirit. You see, Powerpuff Girls 2016 is not a reboot. It's not even a certifiable remake. It's a modernization, and one of the worst shows gone modern in recent history, not only in the animated genre, but in TV in general. Because in order to successfully reboot a show, you must have the spirit of the original intact. The problem with the new Powerpuff Girls for Cartoon Network is that the show lacks any of the spirit, charm, genuinely well-written comedy, and warm feeling that you get. Imagine the jump cuts that make Family Guy such an annoyance to many. And imagine those jump cuts being applied to the Powerpuff Girls in light-speed 13-minute succession. Therein lies the beginning of the show's massive problems. And I mean massive. The writing for the show is among the all-time worst of any show that I have ever seen, if not the worst. The jokes don't land. The overuse of memes and modern lingo throw the pace of the show off, and the spirit, and multiple episodes use their miniature plot lines as an excuse to break character traits. And as far as the characters are concerned, Bubbles and Buttercup remain largely unchanged. But it's Blossom, or should I call Cartoon Network's bad attempt at Twilight Sparkle, that is the most alarming change of all. She's a neat freak, overly organized, and in the books. Sound familiar? The only sad thing is it lacks the emotion or the charm that Twilight does. And trust me, with Twilight being my waifu, it's almost a given that I would spot it. The animation is bright, high contrasted, and jagged at times, making the Powerpuff Girls, especially in action scenes, seem slow by their former comparisons. Gone are the flashy colors done in real time, and in comes a form of flash that I have never seen before. Other reviewers compare it to Clarence, but I have never watched Clarence. And trust me, if Clarence is the same kind of animation style, I don't want to see it, ever. But it's not only the fact that the animation is bad and the characters are assassinated. Even poor Mojo Jojo is used more as a shtick, and Professor Utonium is used more as a plot point than actual characters. Miss Bellum being written off the show for reasons is one of the most stark and stupid moves ever made in the history of the series, let alone in the history of animation. Their reasoning, if you look it up, is beyond terrible and makes no sense. But it's not only all these things rolled into one. The music is given a modernized techno beat which doesn't work, and especially the theme song itself, we've got Who's Got the Power, doesn't work in driving the show forward. It just absolutely doesn't. Although the intro sequence itself is well animated, the show that you get after it is beyond one of the worst scenes. And the ending theme, if you can even live long enough to see it, is beyond terrible. Beyond the slipshod writing and the quick plots and the character assassination therein, the worst and most egregious point of the new Powerpuff Girls happens to be the voice cast. Only 2 of the original show's voices return, Professor Utonium's voice and Mojo Jojo, sans the mayor, make a return from the original series. But those are ancillary sub-characters that mean nothing to the plot, especially with its new character-driven direction, which is wrong. To be character-driven, you have to write the characters confidently, and not be willing to break them totally to fit your plots, or to change their character archetypes to fit a marketing scheme, which clearly in the case of Buttercup, this choice has been made. No, it goes down to the voice acting, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the controversy behind it. None of the original 3 voice actors for for the original Powerpuff Girls were even contacted by Cartoon Network to reprise their roles. That's right, they didn't decide to give legendary voice actors E.G. Daily and even Tara Strong, the God of Gods, even consideration of a phone call. Instead, they picked 3 new fresh-faced voices, which clearly, upon hearing them with multiple episodes, sound clearly like they're reading from a script. The scripts and the voice acting themselves lack emotion or punch. None of the characters seem off, and it almost sounds like they're trying to make impressions of the original girls instead of trying to emote them. That's the biggest thing of what's wrong with this series. It lacks emotion, it lacks spirit, it lacks drive. It's childhood abuse of the worst way. Taking something that we all loved as children, me included, and abusing the name, license, and the memories therein to make a quick buck. It's almost like your parents coming home and beating you over the head for no exact reason, but they've had 1 or 2 many beers in their system and they think it's okay. No, Powerpuff Girls, you deserve better than the abuse you get. You deserve to have a different foster home. You deserve to have these parents sent to jail for their rampant abuse of your love. If a show is going to return like this, then I don't want to see any more reboots. And the sad thing is, there's a new Ben 10 on the way, so expect history to repeat itself, sadly. As far as the Powerpuff Girls are concerned, this is one of the worst animated series to ever be released on television. Ever. Beyond some of the Adult Swim projects, this is the worst. Because at least when Adult Swim shows are bad, at least you can see the heart and spirit and some sort of effort. With this show, you can clearly see the cheapness of it. And that's pretty much the word that I would use to describe this series as a whole and the people working on it. Just cheap, pathetic, and a waste of time. Don't waste your time watching this series, but if you do, watch at your own risk. The references, especially, obviously a slight at the Brony fandom, aren't even the worst egregiouses this show has. When Princess Morbucks, a largely forgettable character, is your best character, you know you largely have a problem, and she's the only one that goes through the modernization sounding better and sounding like roses. But other than that, everyone else on the cast and everything about this series suffers. If Friendship is Magic is the best example of girl power, then this new Powerpuff Girls series is the worst example of it, and almost sends girls' television back a few years. I'm thankful, Craig McCracken, that you have nothing to do with this show. But, if you could, I wish you could sue for defamation of character. Because trust me, these characters have been defamated. No reboot, no matter how good of an idea, deserves something like this. And for a show as legendary as the Powerpuff Girls, it most certainly deserved it. Sometimes, leave something alone, no matter how great the idea is. There's a reason there's a saying, lightning in a bottle. You can only catch it once. Cartoon Network, you still haven't learned this lesson. Don't watch this show. Don't bother with it. Don't waste your time. Because if you do, and you like it, you're part of the problem. A 1 out of 10. One of the worst ever. What are your feelings on this piece of crap show? And if you like it, please, for the love of God, I will give you the option to defend yourself. Although, chances are, you'll probably be wrong. But we live in America, so I'm giving you a chance. Until next time, find peace in your own nirvana. I will find peace watching something way better than this. And thanks for watching.